持っていた。お前は強くな。満足だ。
Today, we'll be going over the Ichigo Blue Bleach deck Volume 2. We'll be doing a full deck profile and combo guide. So this is the full deck list. So the main star of the show is the Raid Ichigo Kurosaki for Energy 1 Action Point 4000 BP. It says when played, choose up to 2 characters with 2000 or more BP on your opponent's front line. They lose 1500 BP until the end of the turn. Also activate main once per turn. Place 1 card with Zangetsu or Getsuga in its card name from your hand into your sideline. If you do, draw 1 card and give this character 1000 BP, and when attacking, draw up to 1 card until the end of the turn. So as you see, the goal of the deck is to discard cards to power up your Ichigos. There are other Ichigos in the deck that also fulfill this synergy of discarding cards. So we have our 4 cost 2 action point Ichigo, we have our 2 cost 1 action point Ichigo, and we also have our 0 cost 1 action point Ichigo. So all of these allow us to place 1 card into the sideline to activate the synergies of our deck. So these are the cards that we want to be discarding. We have His Name is Zangetsu. It says when played, draw 2 cards, but when this card is placed from your hand into your sideline, but an ability on a Blue Ichigo Kurosaki on your field, you draw a card. We also have the 0 cost Zangetsu that says when this card is discarded by a Ichigo Kurosaki, that Ichigo Kurosaki gains, this character cannot be blocked by a character with 3000 or less BP until the end of the turn. We also have the special, Getsuga Jujitsu with only 3 energy, and this special does not have a condition for its first part, so it allows us to choose 1 character with 3000 or less BP on your opponent's front line and sideline it. But when this card is discarded by an Ichigo Kurosaki, you can place 1 card from your hand onto the bottom of your deck, and if you do, that Ichigo Kurosaki gains double attack. And we also have our 2 cost Orihime that says when this card is discarded by an Ichigo Kurosaki, we can choose up to 1 Ichigo Kurosaki on our field. It gains this character cannot be chosen by your opponent's character or trigger abilities until the start of your next turn. So it's a pretty good protective ability to protect your big Ichigos. Here are some of the support cards. So we have our 0 cost Renji, 1 cost Kisuke, 2 cost Byakuya, 3 cost Orihime, and 4 cost Yoruichi. So we'll be going over the combos. So when we play our Ichigo Kurosaki, we want to resolve the when played effect, choosing 2 cards, and then we also want to use its activate main effect to discard 1 card once per turn. So let's say if we discard His Name is Zangetsu, these are the overall effects we get when resolving both effects. We are able to draw 2 cards, Ichigo goes up to 5000 BP, and we also gain when attacking, draw 1 card. So let's say we discard Zangetsu instead, we get all of these effects. We get draw 1 card, plus 1000 BP, and when attacking, draw 1 card. So because we discarded the Zangetsu, we get the ability to cannot be blocked by 3000 or less BP, which is great if we want to push for the last life. So notably also, because we resolved the when played ability, that allows us to choose up to 2 characters with 2000 or more BP on your opponent's front line, and they lose 1500 BP until the end of the turn. If your opponent only has 2 characters, we effectively cannot be blocked by 4500 or less BP. So let's say we discard the special, we get all of the abilities as before, so the drawing 1 card, plus 1000 BP, when attacking, draw 1 card. But if we resolve the effect of the Getsuga, we can put 1 card to the bottom of our deck and we gain double attack. So effectively, we'll be drawing 2 cards after resolving both attacks from the Ichigo. So if we're in the late game, this is a combo that I would highly recommend. So we can use our 2 cost Ichigo, and if we discard a Zangetsu, we can only be blocked by 3500 BP. So basically, if you want to do a late game push, this is something to definitely consider. Here are some other combos. So this is a 2 AP combo. So if you play our Kitsuge to search for the top 3 and discarding a card, because we fulfilled the requirement of discarding a card, we can play a Yoruichi that allows us to place 1 blue character with 1 or less required energy, 1 AP cost, and no affinities from our hand set to resting on our field. So basically we get to play for no AP, either another Kisuke or an Ichigo depending on the circumstances of the board. So another combo, if we already have this Ichigo on the field and we play an Orihime. So we resolve the effect of Orihime that bounces 1 character on our field with 2 or less required energy. So by doing so, we can add up to one card with 2 or less required energy from our sideline to our hand. So for example, his name is Zangetsu. And then we're going to replay the same Ichigo that we put back to our hand. So his effect resolves, we draw a card, and then we're going to place one card from our hand into our sideline. So we're going to put the his name is Zangetsu into the sideline, and then we resolve the effect of the card we just placed, allowing us to draw a card. So this allows us to really go through and cycle our deck to look for an Ichigo Kurosaki raid that we can play now onto our Ichigo that we just played. And then we can pretty much continue with what our deck is supposed to do. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe for more videos.